So the last thing we're going to be covering, at least today, is the final part of the Hasbro Pulse panel that we had at San Diego Comic-Con today, covering all the legacy stuff. A lot of it is exclusives, Hasbro Pulse exclusives, Amazon exclusives, but it's a lot of really cool stuff. It's stuff that we talked about in bits and pieces throughout the past months. We had all these listings, and now we have the images, the information, first looks. Let's get into it. Even some brand new reveals here we did not know about. So we're going to start first with the Deadeye Duel 2-pack. So we talked about Cascade and Javelin. We did a segment about a month ago talking about how these two are going to get a little set together, and it's going to be pretty exciting. This was something that Evan and Shusan worked on. They really wanted to have these two female packs of really obscure characters, brand new characters that were introduced in IDW. This kind of sniper blaster 2-pack, just battle of snipers pretty much. And it's a pretty cool idea. Even the box itself is kind of an homage to the old video game Versus screens and stuff like that. Opposite sides of the war, Autobot versus Decepticon. So for people who are not aware, so Javelin was an Autobot sniper from Caminus. Originally designed by Alex Milne in the older IDW continuity. He intended her to be kind of like an aircraft carrier, but because of her limited appearances, we never got to that point. When she started to become a regular character in the later IDW continuity that came out afterwards, she kind of got more of a ground-based vehicle. You know, something with wheels and much more, motorcycle-based. And they kind of used that as the basis for this version of the character, and they took the Bumblebee movie studio series RC and extensively retooled it into the Javelin that we have today. And I think she looks amazing. I think it looks really good. Like, wow, I like what they did. And Shusan and Evan did a fantastic job capturing what was in the comic book and then putting it into an action figure. And that worked really well. I did not see, I should have thought of that more because I was looking at a lot of the other motorcycles. Totally forgot about the Bumblebee RC one that could have worked just as well. And then we have Cascade here. And Cascade also was one where made a debut in the 2019 IDW books. New character, limited appearances at best, but part of that snipering duel and deserves to get a toy finally of their own. And because you never saw her alt mode, it was kind of open-ended. You know, you could kind of do whatever you want with that one. And they decided to take the Siege Chromia and do a partial out of that one and get a figure out of this one. It's the lesser, nicer one of the two, I guess, because of how old that Siege Chromia mold is. That's from the John Warden era of tooling, but it's still pretty good. Seems to work for this. And I dig it. I mean, I personally, I think if they could have, retooled that brand new, I guess, Shadow Striker mold or that, whatever's going to be Speed Raker Sideburn, maybe retooled that or partial that. But who knows? You know, these two trademarks are out there right now. Those are two trademarks that Hasbro is going to be running with. So who knows? Maybe in a couple of years we might see Cascade and Javelin again, and we'll see what happens with that. So pretty hype. Those two are out there. They're going to be going on pre-order in the next couple of weeks. So get hyped about that one. They'll be on Hasbro Pulse and everything like that. Beautiful 2-pack. Then we got Nacelle. So Nacelle was another one that, we talked about 3 months ago. There was a listing for it, and we were like, okay, well, I guess we're getting a Nacelle at some point. And, for people that are confused, what is that character? What's Nacelle? What's this weird colored Seeker? Well, back in the day when Takara was localizing the Transformer brand for their 1985 lineup, they made a catalog for their 1985 lineup, and there was a lot of weird stuff on that catalog that just kind of never went anywhere in the retail back then, but it was used as bases for ideas and colors like the E-Hobby GoBots. There was this weird red-winged Skywarp in it, and in that catalog scan, there was a Thundercracker body with some weird colored thrust wings on it, and that was that. But it was used as the basis for the character of Nacelle through Fun Publications, and that character was born through that, and the rest was history. So now that, Evan is like, I have OCD, and I want to complete, all my Tetradet Seekers. We have Starscream, we have Thundercracker, we have Skywarp, we have the Rainmaker 3-pack with Acid Storm, Ion Storm, and Nova Storm. We have Hotlink, we have Redwing, we have even that Sparkless Seeker. Where's Nacelle? So he wants to do Nacelle, and here we go. Nacelle is there, and that's another one that's going to be available for us to pick up in the near future. Then they had a listing here that when I first saw the name at the top, I was confused. It said the Leader Galaxy Prime. I think that might have been just a misprint by them or something, because the box itself says Nova Prime, and here we have today Nova Prime. And Nova Prime is an extensive partial, at least to a degree, of the Galaxy Force Optimus Prime from Siege. Looks really good. Nova Prime, for people that aren't aware, is one of those, IDW characters from the origins and ancient days of Cybertron with Prima. I don't want to go too deep into it. There's a little bit of a spoiler territory. They took that Galaxy Force Optimus Prime, gave it a new wing, a new head, new chest, just really kind of made it look as close as it can to that character. But what Evan said is they actually used the Transformers Devastation version of that character, which is slightly different, but used that as the model and the basis for this version of it. So in a lot of ways, this is kind of a gamer edition figure when you think about it, in an indirect way, I guess. The first time we actually knew that this toy was going to be happening was he was hiding in the background in that Senator Shockwave Orion Pax 2-pack. That's kind of how we knew this was coming. But this is pretty cool. Again, creates a action figure of a character that we have yet to get a proper version of. There was a Fun Publications Club exclusive. That was kind of like the pre-Nova Prime, the Nova Major, if you will, even though it was called Nova Prime. So it's kind of like the Orion Pax version, if you will. So pretty hype about this. Very excited about this one. Again, when it's a new character that we've not bought in a toy of a million times over, I'm always excited about it. Definitely interested in that one. Faux show. Then we have this Menasor Combiner gift pack. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It's a giant gift pack to give people an opportunity who did not get all 5 members of the Stunticons over the past 2 of both Legacy and Legacy Evolution. It's going to be unique in the sense that it comes with toy accurate colors, according to Evan here. I don't really see it too well. I could see a little bit, but it's so minor that I don't think it's too much of a difference. I think there might even be retooling on it. Can't confirm that. But, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It comes in a very retro in style packaging. It has tech specs on the back, like that old retro inspired like gift sets from back in the day of Combiners. So pretty cool that they're doing that. And again, it gives people an opportunity. And I hope they kind of do more of these in the future, because that way, it opens up, a case and a situation where if people are willing to pay for 1 Commander class and 4 Deluxes, and you can make other Combiners like that and, find other opportunities for repaints, much like they did back in the day with the gift sets with Combiner Wars. So pretty hype. I like it. It's pretty cool. And the last one, which was the most interesting of the bunch because it actually opens up to even more mini-cons, even more. We have the Shattered Glass 2-pack. Now, a while back, we talked about the Shattered Glass Rodimus in this 2-pack. We did an extensive overview of it. We talked about it because it leaked out of Vietnam, and they took a whole bunch of photos. So I'll post the image to that segment there if you want to go check that out. We go into deep about this one with all the photography and stuff and what's different from one to the other, and with the tooling and everything. But the big surprise with this 2-pack was the other side of it, which was Sideswipe and Whisper Shattered Glass. Now, the Sideswipe on its own right away, both of those, again, they're both based off of the BotCon 2008 figures. The Hot Rod is, the Rodimus is based off of the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. But this Sideswipe is the Battle Across Time Earth Sideswipe from Kingdom that we had, retooled with some new tooling to make it more like Armada Wheeljack. And then it has that slash on the front, and it has those 2 Tomfa weapons that Armada Wheeljack had. After this release, take a guess what this is going to be repainted into and released at some point. Get ready now for more Armada. But what's so cool about this is that it gives us more mini-cons, because Whisper here gives us a brand new mini-con. I'm looking at Whisper and I'm going like, man, is this a new tooling? Is this like a partial from some previously existing Siege or Earthrise Micromaster that I missed? Is this some kind of like, because it's definitely not the original mini-con for sure. It's definitely not the 2003 mold, which later was used in 2008. So this is very interesting. So we're getting more mini-cons, and our second mini-con here is Whisper. And that probably means we're going to get a Wheeljack at some point down the line, repainted in the whole thing. So that's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. And they say that this one's going to be available Saturday. So if you want to pick this up, it's going to be available Saturday. So What an exciting weekend. A lot of cool stuff going on here. I am very hyped about it. Let me know what you think about all of this. It has been quite the San Diego Comic-Con weekend, and we're only Thursday. So Lord knows what else we're going to be seeing coming up. Stay tuned here on the Transformer Slag podcast. We'll cover it for you as the weekend progresses. But I'm done for the night. Hope you enjoyed listening. Thanks for being with me, and we'll talk again real soon.